What if I told you that your phone gets more upgrades than you do? Seriously, every year, your device gets a shiny new update. iOS 15, 16, 17, and now, iOS 26 beta. Bug fixes, feature improvements, cleaner design, smarter responses, better battery life. But what about you? When was the last time you got an update? When did you last fix your bugs or release a beta version of your next best self? Here's the truth. You're not a finished product. You're an evolving system. And just like your favorite device, you deserve regular upgrades, mindset tweaks, behavior experiments, emotional patches, spiritual reboots. In this video, we're going to flip the script. We'll treat your personal growth like a software update with weekly experiments, honest feedback, and self-compassion built in. Welcome to the iOS 26 beta mindset, where you become your own system developer. Let's dive in. Imagine this. You wake up one morning, push for your phone, and the screen says, "Update available. Install now or later." Most of us click "Install now" without even reading the details. Why? Because we trust the process. We expect improvements. We've gotten used to progress. But when it comes to our own lives, our habits, thoughts, goals, we hesitate. We say, now, maybe later, I'm too busy, or worse, this is just how I am. But here's the deal, you're not frozen software. You're a living, learning, ever-evolving system. And like every good system, you need updates to stay aligned with the life you actually want to live. Let's call this the human OS. Not a fixed identity, not a rigid label, but a flexible, testable, growing version of you. And the best part? You don't need to wait for the next big life event to evolve. You can run micro updates, tiny upgrades, weekly beta versions of who you're becoming. It starts with one simple mindset shift. You are not your flaws. You are your updates. Your insecurities? Those are version 2.6 bugs. Your self-doubt? That's outdated code from someone else's opinion. Your procrastination? A performance issue. Easily patchable. So, what's the first step? Awareness. You wouldn't install a new update without reading the patch notes, right? So let's write your own. What's not working right now? Where's the lag? What crashes your energy? What's draining your battery life? Be honest, without judgment. Then ask yourself, if I were a developer for me, what would I improve? Maybe it's better emotional responses when under stress. Maybe it's a cleaner morning routine. Maybe it's removing toxic apps or people from your environment. Maybe it's saying no more often so your system doesn't overload. Once you've identified the bugs, the magic begins. Because the most powerful updates aren't the flashy ones. They're the quiet ones. The ones that happen in the background, while you're simply trying to live more honestly. That's where the beta mindset kicks in. Beta version isn't perfect, it's in progress. It's open to feedback. It expects bugs, but it moves forward anyway. That's the key to real growth. Not waiting until you're ready. Not waiting until you're perfect. Just starting as is. This week, try something. Down one version of you that you'd like to become. Not the idealized fantasy self, but a realistic, updated model. Then ask, what's one action, one micro update I can make this week to move closer? Wake up 15 minutes earlier. Take a walk without headphones. Unfollow 5 negative accounts. Journal before bed instead of scrolling. Small changes. Not because you're broken, but because you're ready for the next version of you. Because the real problem isn't that you failed. The real problem is that you stopped updating. So here's your reminder. Every system can evolve. Every glitch can be fixed, and every new version, no matter how messy, is worth releasing. Welcome to iOS U, Beta 1.0. More stable, more intentional, more you. We talked about seeing yourself as a system in progress, a human OS with bugs, updates, and unlimited potential. Now, let's talk about what happens when you stop waiting for someday and start updating every week. Welcome to the weekly beta challenge, your personal, flexible, beautifully imperfect upgrade plan. Think of it like this: every new iOS version gets tested before it goes public. developers push out beta versions trial runs filled with minor bugs, glitches, and discoveries. They're not polished, but they're essential to progress. So, why don't we treat ourselves the same way? Why do we expect perfection instead of progress? Why do we criticize every misstep instead of studying it like data? Why do we think failing once means we've failed completely? Here's the reframe. Your weekly beta is not about being better than others. It's about becoming truer to yourself one experiment at a time. And like any good beta test, you don't need to overhaul everything. You just need to pick one variable each week. One behavior, one mindset shift, one small challenge. Here are some examples to get you started. Beta 1.1. The morning reboot. Wake up 30 minutes earlier. No phone, just stillness. Watch how your thoughts shift when the day begins on your terms. Beta 1.2. Digital detox. Go one full day without social media. Notice your cravings. Notice your clarity. Write down what you actually missed and what you didn't. Beta 1.3. The input audit for 1 week. Consume only uplifting, meaningful content, books, podcasts, conversations. Filter out the noise. Let better thoughts in. Beta 1.4. Saying no. Practice. Set a boundary, just one. Say no to something that drains you. Feel the power of protecting your system's bandwidth. Beta 1.5. Self-talk upgrade. Every time you catch yourself with negative inner dialogue, rewrite it out loud or in a journal. Train your mind like code: clean, intentional, kind. The idea isn't to fix yourself, it's to observe yourself like a developer with curiosity, not judgment. Because in a beta version, bugs are expected, mistakes are part of the process. Crashes don't mean the product is broken. They mean it's being tested, stretched, refined. That's the attitude we bring into the weekly beta challenge. Let's say your challenge this week is to journal every night. You do it Monday, Tuesday, but Wednesday, you're tired. You skip it. Thursday, you forget. Friday, you remember, but feel like a failure. Here's where most people stop. But here's where the beta mindset shines. Instead of quitting, you do what any smart developer would do. You review the data. What worked? What didn't? Why? You iterate. Maybe 5 nights was too much. Maybe 2 is realistic for now. You relaunch. No shame. No reset button. Just version 1.6. Smoother, smarter, stronger. That's the hidden beauty of this practice. It trains your brain to see setbacks as feedback, not failure. Because let's be honest, most people don't grow because they lack willpower. They stop growing because they expect perfection from an experimental process. But not you anymore. You're here to test. Learn. Improve your internal system one honest update at a time. Let's make it practical. Grab a notebook, your notes app, a whiteboard, anything. This week, choose your beta focus. What's one thing you want to upgrade? A thought pattern? A habit loop? A response you always regret? A feeling you've been avoiding? Write it down. Then write. Beta version. Your name 1.0. Testing your focus. Track your week, not for perfection, but for awareness. At the end of 7 days, ask, what did I notice? What surprised me? What helped? What needs adjusting? Then move on. Next week, new focus, new experiment, new line of code in the operating system of you. And if you miss a day, crash the system, forget the challenge? Cool. That's data. That's part of the release notes. The weekly beta challenge isn't about becoming a better person. It's about becoming a present one. And the more present you are with your process, the more powerful each update becomes. Because here's the truth. Your next level isn't found in a dramatic transformation. It's hiding inside your next small, brave tweak. And the version of you who's been waiting to shine, they're already downloading. All you have to do is install. So, you've chosen your weekly beta challenge. You've started to see yourself as a system in progress. But what happens when the real bugs start showing? You know the ones I mean. That voice in your head that whispers, you'll never change. The habit that always pulls you back just when you're doing great. The belief that says, This is who I am. It's too late to rewrite anything. That is old code, glitches in your system, hidden files, outdated programming that still runs quietly in the background until it crashes everything again. But here's the good news. You are not your default settings. You can debug your identity. Let's break it down. Step 1. Identify the loop. Every system has a pattern. So do you. Me, it's overthinking every decision until you burn out. Saying yes to please others. Then resenting it. Quitting just before things get good because deep down, you're scared of success. These aren't random flaws. They're coded loops. Repetitive behaviors written long ago, maybe in childhood, maybe from trauma, maybe from survival. But now, they don't serve you anymore. So your job isn't to shame them, it's to find them. Ask yourself, what's one pattern that keeps repeating in my life? Where do I self-sabotage the most? What belief always plays in the background like bad elevator music? Write it down. Be honest. Be kind. You can't debug what you don't acknowledge. Step 2. Trace the source code. No, go deeper. Every bug has a source file. So does every limiting belief. If your system keeps crashing every time someone criticizes you, ask, where did I learn that being wrong equals being unworthy? If you shut down emotionally when conflict happens, who taught me that emotions are dangerous? Most of your internal code wasn't written by you. It was downloaded from family, from culture, from experiences where you had no choice but to survive. But now, you do have a choice, and once you trace the code back to its origin, you can start rewriting it. Step 3. Rewrite the command in software. One line of faulty code can crash an entire app, but rewriting it even slightly can change everything. Same with you. Here's how. Take an old belief and run it through this filter. Old line, I always mess things up. New line, I'm still learning, and that's okay. Old line, I'm not good with people. New line, I'm building better connections, one honest moment at a time. Old line, I'll never catch up. New line, I'm growing at my own pace, and that's enough. The goal isn't to fake positivity, it's to write better code that actually serves the system you're becoming. Start small. Even one reframe can upgrade your emotional operating system. Step 4. Install the update with repetition. Here's where most people fail. They write the new belief once and expect everything to change. But real updates take install time. You wouldn't expect your phone to upgrade instantly. It restarts. It refreshes. Sometimes it crashes again before stabilizing. That's okay. When you're installing new beliefs, give yourself space to repeat them. Speak them aloud. Write them down daily. Catch yourself when old code runs and gently overwrite it. This is neural rewiring. This is emotional debugging. It's not instant, but it's effective. Bonus, error. Messages are feedback, not failure. Ever seen this message on your phone? Something went wrong. Please try again. That's life too. When your system crashes, when the old habits win, when the negative voice comes back, when the week goes off track, don't delete everything. Don't panic. Just read the message. Ask, what triggered it? What version of me reacted? What's the fix for next time? The best developers don't avoid bugs. They embrace them. Because every error is data, every crash is a clue, and every update is born from experience. The upgrade mindset. Bugging yourself is hard. It's vulnerable. It means letting go of the identity you built to protect yourself. But it's also liberating. Because once you see that the story in your head is editable, you become unstoppable. You stop living reactively, and you start living intentionally. You go from, this is just who I am, to this is who I'm becoming. And that shift, that's the upgrade. So this week, alongside your beta challenge, take 10 minutes to debug, find one pattern, trace it back, rewrite the belief, repeat it with compassion. This is how transformation happens. Not in a breakthrough moment, but in the background, line by line, thought by thought, update by update. And just like that, a new version of you is quietly being born. Now that you've started debugging your identity, rewriting old code, reframing old beliefs, let's talk about the part most people forget: maintenance. Because even the best software needs protection. And no matter how powerful your updates are, if you don't build a system to sustain them, they'll slowly get buried under stress, noise, and life happening at full speed. So, how do you protect your growth? You do what any smart developer does. You install a maintenance system. You create space, structure, and safeguards that support your new mindset, especially when things get messy. Let's start with the basics. 1. Battery health. Energy is everything. Your phone has limited battery. So do you. If you don't monitor your energy, you'll find yourself crashing mid-update. Not because your intention wasn't strong, but because your system was drained. System tip: track what charges and what drains you. Charging habits: morning, quiet time, good sleep, journaling, nourishing food. Draining habits: doom scrolling, constant people pleasing, unspoken resentment. Once a week, do a quick audit. Ask, am I charging myself as much as I'm giving away? 2. Firewalls. Guarding your emotional space. A good operating system doesn't let everything in. It has filters. It says no to malware, pop-ups, and spam. You need the same for your emotional health. That means setting boundaries without guilt, choosing your inputs wisely. News, people, conversations, creating digital detox zones, saying no, even when it feels uncomfortable, because it protects your peace. You don't have to be available 24/7. Your growth deserves protection. 3. Background app management. What are you running without realizing? Just like your phone, your brain runs apps in the background. Old worries, silent pressures, open emotional tabs. These slow you down. You don't even realize how much until you start closing them. System tip: once a week, unplug for 30 minutes. No noise, no input. Just breathe, reflect, ask, what thoughts are looping unnecessarily? What conversations need closure? What weight am I carrying that doesn't belong to me? You'd be surprised how much clarity shows up in the quiet. 4. Weekly maintenance rituals. Reboot before breakdown. Most people wait until they burn out to change something. But what if you prevented the crash? Every system runs smoother with regular reboots. Try this. Pick one day a week. Sunday works beautifully. Reflect on your weekly beta. Note one win, one bug, and one update. To journal how your new version feels. Breath, hydrate, reset. This isn't indulgence. It's internal hygiene. You clean your screen. You clear your cache. You should care for your mind the same way. Final thought. Maintaining your system is not about staying perfect. It's about staying present. Because growth doesn't happen all at once. It happens in your rhythms. In how you treat your energy. In how you protect your mental code. A powerful version of you is forming, but it needs your support to stay alive. Keep tending to it. Update gently. Protect what matters. You're not just building habits, you're building a life system that supports the person you're becoming. So here we are. You've seen yourself as a system. You've begun running beta challenges. You've debugged outdated beliefs. You've started protecting your energy like a developer protects their code. Now, one question remains. Are you ready to keep going even when it's not glamorous? Because here's the quiet truth no one tells you. Becoming your best self doesn't feel like fireworks. It feels like consistency. It feels like waking up and doing the small thing again. And again. And again. It feels like choosing a deep breath instead of a sharp reply. Turning off your phone so you can tune into yourself. Showing up to your journal in when you have nothing poetic to say. Saying trying instead of I give up. It feels human. You see, the version of you you're chasing, they're not perfect. They're just aligned. Aligned with your values. With your rhythm. With your inner truth, not society's programming. Not someone else's timeline. And that's what the iOS 26 beta mindset is really about. It's not about hacking your life. It's about honoring it. It's understanding that healing isn't linear. Growth isn't flashy. Upgrades don't always come with applause, but they matter, because each week you test a new version of yourself. You get one step closer to the life that feels like home. And over time, the habits stick. The bugs fade. The updates become part of who you are. Till one day, without even noticing, you open your eyes and realize that you've become the person you once only imagined. Not all at once, but bit by bit, choice by choice, line by line. Like the most powerful software ever written, you were never designed to be rushed. You were designed to evolve. So as you move forward, carry this. You don't need to be version 10.0 tomorrow. You just need to be willing to release version 1.1 today. And then, keep going. Keep showing up for your updates. Keep testing. Keep learning. Keep healing. Because you are not behind. You are becoming, and the world doesn't need a perfect version of you. It needs the present one. So go ahead, press install update. Your next version is waiting, and it's going to be powerful. If this message spoke to you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Each week, we explore new ways to grow gently, honestly, powerfully. Welcome to the journey. Welcome to Motivation Hub Rise. Let's rise together.